I'm Philip Ingram.
And you're from?
I'm from Akron, Ohio.
Greg Williams. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I'm Jody Sims. I'm from Steubenville, Ohio.
Eddie Llewellyn from Akron, Ohio.
Bobby DeBarge from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Tommy DeBarge from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
The 1970s saw the shift from the golden period of vocal R&B groups to a growing cadre of self-contained funk and soul bands, with this group being among the most skilled yet underappreciated. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Switch. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. This story begins in December of 1976 in Mansfield, Ohio. The group consisted of Gregory Williams, brothers Tommy, and Bobby DeBarge, all from Grand Rapids, Michigan, along with Akron, Ohio natives Philip Ingram, the brother of James Ingram, Eddie Llewellyn, and Jody Sims, originally Williams, and Bobby and Sims had previously been part of a group called White Heat, which issued a self-titled album on RCA in 1975, but the band's producer Barry White shortly closed his sole Unlimited production firm and dropped all of the artists on the roster. This prompted Williams, who was based in Akron, to start his own band. Burn Lichters provided financial aid for the group's demo tape recording in Columbus, Ohio. The band drew the attention of Jermaine Jackson, who set up an audition for the group at Motown. Here, they dazzled the executives with their musicianship, particularly their ability to switch from instrument to instrument during a song, earning the group the name Switch.
Because everybody thinks, well, how do you get your start in music? You know, you practice, you record, you try and get your demos out there to something, and all of a sudden you see Jermaine Jackson in an elevator.
Absolutely. And it was just by chance. We were seeing someone on a couple floors up.
Yeah.
We got off. We were going to roll down and go out, and 2 floors down, Jermaine and his wife Hazel Gordy Jackson, Barry Gordy's daughter, gets on the elevator. The elevator is crowded with people, so we don't get a chance to talk. We just acknowledge each other in a nod and a smile, and the elevator goes down. Gets down to the 5th floor, they get off. We started on the 20th floor. Get down to the 5th floor, they get off. And myself and Jody, we only had 1 tape.
That was it?
1 tape, period. We were out of business once that 1 tape was given up, so our plan was for everybody to listen to it with us. But meeting Jermaine Jackson and his wife and then all the excitement, we should have given them the tape. So we have to roll down to the 1st floor because people are still getting out. We go back, rush back up to the 5th floor. They should have been gone. Run down the corridor. They're parked there looking for a tape to put
in their car?
In their car.
Get out of here.
No, seriously. They're parked in the doorway. So anyway, we gave them the tape. And within 24 hours, Jermaine Jackson called us back and said, I like your tape.
That's awesome.
What do you guys want? Well, we want a deal.
Of course.
So he says, okay. And he turns us on to Barry Gordy and Motown, and the rest is history.
In 24 hours, Jermaine called us. We gave him the tape and a phone number where we were.
Okay.
In less than 24 hours, Jermaine called us and said, I like your tape. What do you want? Well, we want a deal. Of course. He says, well, right now I'm at the hospital with Hazel, but maybe we can meet. And then he decided, he said, hey, it's in Hollywood. If you guys are in Hollywood, maybe you can come over here and hang out with me and we can talk. Well, we got on the bus and went exactly where he was. Now, here is an amazing story, man. Let me tell you this, Nabi. We're there talking to Jermaine. We're hanging with him. Hazel's in labor. And we're talking to Jermaine. We're talking to Jermaine in the waiting room for a good hour. Maybe an hour, 15 minutes pass. And then who should walk in but Mrs. Jackson, LaToya, Reby, and Janet. Jermaine introduces us to his family. They welcome us like family. We all get to talking and hanging for another half hour, 45 minutes. Then who should walk in that door but Michael, Randy, Marlon, and Jackie. So we're surrounded by the Jacksons, and they're treating us weak. So we meet everybody, and they're treating us like family.
Within weeks, the group was signed to Motown Records, Gordy's subsidiary label. They recorded and released their self-titled first album 18 months later, in 1978, which included their first top 10 R&B smash single. They'll Never Be. The song was also their most successful on the Billboard Hot 100, where it peaked at number 36.
What you do for me,
Williams, Bobby DeBarge, and Sims wrote the songs occasionally in conjunction with Jermaine Jackson. Despite never achieving considerable crossover success in the pop singles charts, they remained a continuous presence on the R&B charts until the late 1970s, with albums such as Switch 2 from 1979, This Is My Dream, and Reaching for Tomorrow in 1980. Their final release on Gordy was Switch 5, released in 1981. During this period, the band released hit songs such as I Want to Be Closer,
There's no more time, wishing you were mine. If
We Like to Party,
it's too late, stop dancing, just don't stop.
and I Call Your Name.
And you don't even know you, taking all that life.
Best Beat in Town, and Love Over and Over Again.
Me tell you, love me in a special way.
Shortly after the DeBarge brothers departed Switch to teach their younger siblings in the group DeBarge, and lead singer Ingram left to pursue a solo career, Switch brought in new vocalists and musicians Renard Gallo, Gonzalez Ozin, and Phil Upchurch Jr. Switch joined with Total Experience and released their final album, Am I Still Your Boyfriend, in 1984 before disbanding later that year. Switch reunited in 1985 with Williams and all new members, but the band gained little popularity. In 1991, Motown issued a greatest hits compilation album featuring the band. This band's only remaining print publication is a comparable version from the 20th Century Master series, which was issued more recently. Bobby DeBarge, former lead vocalist, passed on August 16, 1995 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, of AIDS-related complications at the age of 39. Tommy DeBarge, a former bass guitarist and backing vocalist, passed on October 21, 2021 at the age of 64. Switch has now formed, now incorporating original members founder and leader Williams, Flullen, Ingram, original sessions on stage guitarist Michael McLaury, new lead vocalist Achille Nixon, and drummer Teffer Hazy. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from Switch?